Okay, people. So now it's March 21st, 2020. It's like 5:30 in the morning. I've been up since 4:30. Okay? Because I came in, people, did my YouTube thing, had a bath, I had a bowl of mushroom soup with 3 cloves of garlic in it, and those croutons that that bread, right, for French bread. I cut it and I fried it in butter and I ate that, and then, I don't know, I ended up laying down on the couch watching TV, and obviously went to sleep, right? So anyway, I was feeling it last night when I was cooking that soup, in terms of the physical, my legs are stiff, and like I'm feeling it. 2 days in the yard already, and I'm feeling it. So we're going into day 3 today, so of course I'm sitting here thinking, as I always do, and I'm cold. I'm cold, people. Right now, I have to warm up. I might get another sweater. Hold on a minute. Okay, see, if I turn on the heat, right, too much, and let it run for too long, what happens is the majority of the heat goes downstairs into the basement, and then it cooks my son. Right? You know what I mean? So I'm like constantly up and down with the heat. But right now it's like people are sleeping, and you don't want to be cooking them when they're sleeping, right? They get all stuffy, eh? My son, when he works hard, so I don't want him waking up all congested because of the heat. And this is an old house, right? So dusty pipes and shit. So anyway, I'm going to upload this video, right? Because I'll probably be talking here for a bit. That's fine. And I have to go outside today, people. Even if it's just for a couple, 2-3 hours. One, in part because the weather is kind of warm. But that could change at any moment. We could get a freezing spell, right? And if I had to choose to be outside in the freezing cold or in what I'm working in right now, I would choose what I'm working in right now, okay? So in that sense, I'm being an opportunist, okay? If the weather is good today, I'm out there. It doesn't matter how I'm feeling, even though I'm starting to feel it, and I'm only into day 2, because this is physical labor, right? It's not heavy physical labor yet, but it's going to get heavy, right? So I'm like, okay. Now, really, I have a title for this video. I'll get back to this other stuff in a minute. And I'm going to call this one Bringing Reality to YouTube. Okay? I bring reality to YouTube. Okay? And when I take you out into the yard, you will see that reality. Among other things that I do in a day, right? Okay. And then the second part is, it's either thank you to my American friend, or I'll write it as thank you, Truth4reality. Okay, he's my American friend. Alright, because he put it out there a couple times now with what happened to ShaMay. And with his last video that he made, I just want to take time to thank everybody for signing the petition based on the video that he did, because they know, they don't know me, right? Right? They only know what they can see on YouTube. So anyway, through his subscribership, over 600 people signed the petition. So I'm very grateful for that, and I just want to say thank you. I'm satisfied with that, people. Like, seriously, it's going to be extremely hard for a judge to ignore those signatures, especially when they're addressed to the Attorney General and Solicitor of this province, right? And the Attorney General, okay? If a judge dismisses those signatures, in total we've got 726 signatures, right? And before the video was made, in terms of what Truth4reality did, right? Before that video was made, we had 150 that came in through my personal Facebook, right? So I thank everybody, family and friends, for signing that. And then he did the video, and then it jumped up to 726. So that's really, really good, and it's going to be extremely, I think in the aspect of a petition, I think that we're ahead of the game. I think that we've done mission as accomplished. I think we accomplished the mission. So that's not to say that I wouldn't mind more signatures, which I'm sure, you know, they're coming in because I can see the numbers, right? You know, 1 here, 2 there, 3 here. So it is, but at where we're at right now with being past the 700 mark, I'm feeling really good about it. And I really just want to say thank you to my American friend for helping me with that. Okay, I think we've accomplished a major goal. I really do. Now, back to this other stuff. So, you know, 30 days is not a lot of days, people. Not in this yard. Right? So, because they, like, when I moved in, it's the same old wood fence that's been here ever since. And if anybody knows anything about wood fences, especially with these prefab ones that they make, they really don't last very long, and they start to fall apart. So I'm going to have to do, again, this wouldn't be the first time, people, fence repairs. This will be like the 4th or 5th time. I have to do them along where my car is, the one around where the hen house area is, right? AKA greenhouse, little mini greenhouse with the hen house playroom. No, it was what was it? It was like an arts and crafts room, right? Anyway, the one out there in the back by the big greenhouse. Last time Jerry was in there, and he said he secured it up for me, but I still have to check it, right? And then along where Fertile Myrtle is, Marcane's friends did a really good job and fixed that one, because that one blew over, what, last year? Not this year, but the year before. And that one is blown over twice. Well, anyway, on this side of the house, you know, this mean guy over here, you know, he got the cheap prefab cedar, you know, just makeshift little fence that blows down every year, every 2 years. Well, anyway, parts of it blew out, right, up by my wood pile. So I have to get up and behind there, and what's up and behind there is a latrine, the raccoon latrine, right? So I was supposed to clean it out last year, and I didn't get to it. So this year I'm gonna get in there. Well, I was going to get in there anyway, and start getting ready to fix that fence. Whether that guy fixes the fence or whether I fix the fence to the best of my ability, which will probably be the case. Yeah, you know, so that's what I'm going to do today. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm thinking about, okay, well, where do you want to go in the yard? Because, you know, these city workers, they can be fucking cagey. They can just spot check here, spot check there, and they can go on their merry way. Or they can do a souk, basically, and get me fucking moving wood in the middle of the rain for 79 days straight. I'm going to pull up those videos, and I'm going to start adding them into the link of these videos, right? It's just a matter of going back into 2015 and 2017 and finding those videos that relate to this fucking yard. So, anyway, besides that point, and that's why I bring reality to YouTube, because I talk about fence repairs. Right? And I need my planter pots anyway, those little ones, the little ones to start the seedlings and shit, right? So, you know, it gives me an excuse to get in there and start getting ready to do seedlings. Like I said, I don't really want to plant very much this year, simply because. But when spring comes and, you know, it's time to plant, and if you've been planting, I mean, it's like in your blood, you know. You even what you think you don't want to do, you're going to end up doing it anyway. So I might as well get ready for it, right? So it gives me an opportunity to get into my little planter pots, and that you'll see. I'll show you, right? And then so I'm going to start up in this corner, and because I'm feeling kind of stiff, you know, and a little shaky, because when you haven't been physically active, you know, for quite a while, right? And you've been more sitting, you know, right? Because you're inside or whatever it is. And I've been like, this winter, I've been really tired and like achy, you know, resting and that type of thing. So it's not like I've had a lot of physical activity. So I'm kind of feeling it. I feel like I guess you can say I've been in a gym. So I don't want to overstress myself out physically too much today. But I have enough strength to get up into that corner and start pulling everything out so I can get up in around the tree and see what the raccoons have done, right? And then get up into my planter pots. And so I'll probably just work in that corner over there, right, today, more than likely, assuming that it's not too cold outside. And then that gives me an opportunity to start addressing that fence. And since we're doing fences, since we're doing repairs on the fence, because that fence has to be fixed. That fence over there, you'll see boards blown out, right? Because it's like the fence is old, man. I've been here over 10 years, right? 10 years. I've been here 10 years, people. And not once has this fence been replaced. Because I keep repairing them or having somebody do it for me. And in this case, I may just end up asking my son if maybe his friends. It depends. If we're the AKA Andre's Playhouse / craft room / hen house, all these slashes, right? If it seems like it's not sturdy, then I have to call the big boys in. And what happens is my son comes with 3, 4, 5 of his friends, and they're big guys, they're big boys, right? So they're the ones who ran those rafters underneath the porch, and like they had to jack up the beams, and they did a really good job. And it looks like they're going to have to do the other half of the porch, because once I pull down that plastic, I have a sneaky feeling that all those beams are going to be rotten. So those, when I say the big boys, it's the big boys that do that kind of stuff. So maybe I'll have to get them to kind of touch up on the fence a little bit too. My landlady will pay to do the beams, but she won't pay for the fence. The fence has always been something that I've kind of been doing all these years. It's just a nuisance more than anything else. Right? So, that's the plan for outside today. It's not too physical, but it's still physical, people, and that's the thing. So, by the time I come in tonight, it's hard to say, right? But, you know, I have to do this, because if I don't do this, people, I jeopardize losing my house. It's just easier for them to force me out. And they don't care. They don't, because if they cared, people, this shit wouldn't be going on repetitively. And that's the issue with being a targeted family. It becomes repetitive. So now I'm in war room, what is this, 2? And really, this is just a Mod Podge video. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Look at this. This is some nice leather. Nice leather, people. I want to make Amari some chaps, right, to help him with his leg support. That's not so rigid, but still kind of keeps things in place. And then, of course, a little bootie that I can run something in this part of the boot in the inside to help straighten out his foot a bit, because it, you know, right? As if I've got time to do that, is on my sewing table, up in my face. But before I can even work with that, I kind of have to tidy up a little bit in here. Still put some more shit away. Okay, do you see? I've still got lots to do. So, being that this is a Mod Podge video and I just seen something here, I was talking to my American friend on the phone yesterday, and as soon as she got on the phone, and her name's Angie, right? As soon as she got on the phone, and I called her, right, because she gave me her phone number, right? And she answered the phone, and as soon as we started talking, with not even within a minute or two or whatever it was, right? She said to me, she says, oh my God, I feel like you're my friend and we've been talking forever. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Kind of seems that way, doesn't it? So anyway, that's the first thing I want to note, right? It was just so, get into the conversation, as girlfriends would do, right? So, we chatted on the phone for a little while, right? About different things. And, the subject of, and if I have more time, I do have time. I just have to fit it in, right? And I am looking, I thought I'd come in here and look, right? Because I did do a video on how to make diapers. So maybe I should just find the video. Because what's happening in the United States of America, well, we know my opinion on that. I personally think it's just a military psyop, just a means to pacify the population into being submissive and do as you're told kind of thing, which just erodes on human rights. And I think they're doing it through fear and paranoia in terms of the government, manipulating the general population. And because of that, there's a lot of consequences where, grocery stores are shutting down. And it's not like anybody really had any preparation for it, right? It came on suddenly, okay, in terms of, within a month. If you notice the time period, within a month, all of a sudden, you've got major grocery stores, Walmarts, Costco's, all these kind of big places shutting down. Their shelves are half empty, if not completely empty, and people aren't working as much because they're being told to stay home, and people are losing money, and just you can't find toilet paper, you can't find paper towels, you can't find just some things you just can't find, right? So anyway, the subject of diapers came up, right? And and she didn't come right out and say it, but any suggestions, and I diaper wipes, and I said, I had 5 kids, people. I never used diaper wipes. I didn't even use diapers, like Pampers, like that kind of stuff. I used cloth diapers, face cloths, and good old water, and a diaper bucket, okay? That's what I used with 5 kids growing up. All of them were out of diapers between the age of 2 and 2.5, right? Okay? None of them were bedwetters, okay? And, yeah. So, anyway, this is what I told her to do. Well, if you don't have diaper wipes, and this is what I tell Tisha to do anyway, and try not to use the diaper wipe, especially if they go, number 2. If they take a poop, right? The best thing that you can possibly do is just take them to the bathtub. I'm telling you, people, take them to the bathtub. You either put a bit of water in there, depending on how, you don't want to scare the baby when you put the baby into the bathtub. So sometimes if you have the water running, it's just easier to take the little bum and put the water there and just wash in between the legs, and, and away you go, right? It's done. Obviously you have to condition your babies to be able to trust you in order to do that effectively and efficiently, in terms of with ease, and you do it within a couple of minutes, not even a minute, right? Just enough to rinse them off, and you move on, and then you pat dry them, let them air dry, and then you put on their cloth diaper. That was my routine, people, okay? Or I'd use a face cloth, preferably fresh water, rinse it all off, and you're good to go. So don't worry about not having diaper wipes. Don't worry about not, those kind of things. And in terms of diapers, if you can't find diapers, then you go off and you either go buy cotton diaper material, assuming that you will find any, but maybe everybody else is already running off to the fabric store and buying fabric to make diapers because they can't find diapers to buy. Who knows? But if, let's just say, you can't find the cotton diaper material, right, which I moved into kid's bedroom because I just don't have time to make diapers right now. What do you call it? You look around the house or go to the thrift store, really, and you can pick up, I mean, that's worst case scenario, and then you can pick up shirts that you can cut a square of to make a diaper. But it has to be an absorbent cotton, okay? Doesn't matter if it has a print on it, right? It doesn't matter if it has a print on it, as long as it's an absorbent cotton. So even if you can't find diaper material in a fabric store, you could go around the house looking for some old cotton shirts with a little bit of pile on it, right? A little bit of pile on it, so that it absorbs, the urine, and cut out your squares from that. And then with the arms and those kind of things, you can make extra little padding to go in between for like a girl or something, right? You just like that, and you make your diaper, and then you put that in the middle, and then you use good old diaper pins, right? Yeah, they have to be the baby kind, because otherwise it's not safe. It has to be these kind. Everybody remembers those. When my kids were growing up, I used to always have these things. They won't remember now because I used to always have those kind of things hanging off. Between sewing, I did a lot of sewing. So, yeah, you want the safety. And then, if you can't find rubber pants, which you can't anymore because they phased them out. I think they phased them out because they just wanted people buying Pampers and shit. Right? But, again, you can make your own. Right? This is the kind of material that you want to use. This is fine. Anything something like this. It's a little water resistant. Okay? Now what this was an old jacket that ended up on my porch for whatever the fuck reason. I don't know why. And then it sat out there forever. And it got all whatever. And then obviously I bleached it and washed it. And now it's not looking so bad. But what I want to do is I want to take this part right in here. And I want to put this at the bottom of that chair that I'm still working on. In terms of, it's got this. And it's got a bit of padding. So I'll put that there before I cover up the actual cushioning. But, an old jacket like this kicking around, if you can't find this kind of fabric, it's just, as long as it's this kind of fabric, for the most part, right, you can make your own rubber pants, right? And it's so simple. And then what happens is, okay, so you put the diaper on the baby, if you don't know, and let's just say the baby poos, right? So the baby poos. Sorry, Truth for Reality. I didn't mean to mix your thank you into with baby poop, but it is what it is, right? Because I know you're watching my videos, right? But this is so important because, people are being price gouged for diapers and shit like that. And I can't imagine not knowing what to do in a situation like that. And here I'm just offering help for somebody, right? And so this is just a recap for Angie, right? And anyone else that is in this dilemma in the United States of America that watches my videos. It's simple. You just get yourself a big old paint bucket that's clean, just a big bucket, right? With a little bit of a lid on it. And you fill it up with some water. In the old days, they used to provide what was like a diaper, a wash. You'd put so much in per so much water. And so that when you put your diapers in, because you end up washing diapers every 3 days. You have to, right? And but they have to sit in water for a little while, right? So versus sitting in water that's not conditioned, so that the bacteria really grows. They have a little. It was a diaper. It came in a box. It was like a diaper soda or something. Diaper pail soda, right? And but they don't have that anymore. So I would just recommend a tad bit of bleach, right? Just a tad bit. Or you could just have like a wash soda or something. Don't make it too concentrated. Just enough just to offset any odors and that type of thing that might start breeding within that 3-day period. And then, so baby poops, you go to the toilet, you rinse it off. If you have to, you put it in the toilet, right? And you put your hands in there and, right? And you let poo, whatever, and go down the drain, you rinse it again, and then you just squeeze it, and then you just put it into your diaper pail with that solution, all right? A little bit of bleach water, okay? Just, a big bucket of water with just a bit of bleach, just, a quarter cup, not even that, right? Or just some kind of a soda, like a Arm & Hammer laundry soda. It's just something like that. And then over the next 2 days, that's what you do, right? If it's a very urinated, even with the urine, you rinse it off, right? You can rinse the urine under the bathtub tap. Just squeeze it out a little bit and rinse it off, and then put it into your diaper pill. And then after that, then you get into the diaper pail, okay? And then you squeeze, right? And you can put them into the bathtub, all of them if you want. You can give them a quick rinse, right? A little bit of water, squeeze them out, put them into your pail, take them to your washing machine, and then you wash them. And then you dry them. And then you fold them up. And then you feel so good because you've got a nice 2 piles of diapers ready to go for the next 3 days. And that's your cycle for the duration of that child learning to be potty trained. And because you're using cloth, they don't like it. So they learn quickly to use the toilet, basically, or hold it. And they won't come down with diaper rashes. It's just you have to work at it. But it's cost effective if you do it that way. And under emergency, right, under an emergency where you can't have diapers and you can't have diaper wipes and all that crap, I mean, obviously it's godsend, right? So anyway, for anyone that needs diapers and can't find them in the United States of America, or diaper wipes or any of that kind of baby stuff, like I said, if you can't go off and find the fabric in a fabric store, you can simply run around the house looking for I'm looking for it in here, but I moved everything out in terms of the fabric for diapers, right? Because I needed the room in here for something else. So, yeah, it's not in here. So, what do you call it? Oh my God, paper's falling all over the place in here. If you can't find the fabric in a fabric store, just go off and old thrift store or get into your closets. It's an emergency. So you pull out Grandpa's old shirt that he doesn't wear anymore, but it's perfect for a diaper in terms of absorbency, right? The soft cotton with the little bit of a pile, right? So that it absorbs. And you use that, and you only need, diapers are, I don't know, they're not that big. They're not that wide, right? I don't know. I'll measure, when I find it, I'll measure it. So, okay, so now that that's over with, oh, I'm tired, people. See, when I'm in here, I need to stand, right? I have to stand to do this stuff. Right? I have to stand. This is ShaMay's medical records from the time she was born to 2017 with Amari. This is when she gave birth to Amari. Right up in there. And then there's the bigger binder of when she died. And then because I still kind of mixed up in here, you know, put everything in there. So that's what I'm going to do. But I wanted to do this first, okay? So I'll look for that fabric because I thought it was in here, but I don't see it in here. I moved everything out because I just don't have time myself to I still want to use cloth diapers more with Amari. But, you know, my life has been overtaken by, I don't know what. And this is the frightening thing about what's going on with this coronavirus, because in my opinion, it happened too sudden, and it's going about too smooth in terms of the governments themselves flexing their muscles when it comes to putting everybody on lockdown. Because really, when you think about it, even though they're trying to make it sound like, you know, oh, it's okay to social distance, but we'll socialize together as we follow the rules, right? And, you know, maybe quite well put ourselves into a bad position simply because somebody else told us to do that, right? Like, you have to ask yourself, if you can't even find fucking diapers and you're only 1 month into the game, like, that's pretty bad, okay, if people don't know what to do, right, in terms of recourse, right, because the government themselves took away the rubber pants. The government itself took away that diaper pail soda, because if you notice, they're not on the market anymore. Everybody's too busy running around buying Pampers and those kinds of things, those types of diapers, right? I don't know what all the Huggies and whatever brands are out there, you know. I mean, there was a period of like 15 years where I have not met too many people that actually use cloth diapers. But under an emergency situation, and you can't find them, and you don't know what to do, and you're expected to stay home, and this is just a test run, people. And then you look at what the city's doing to me, right? At least with me, we can see that they're being malice. We can see that they're being spiteful and vindictive, and they're retaliating for whatever the fuck reason they decided to poke their nose and shit. I don't know, people. The only thing that I can think of is they want me to write them down in this lawsuit so that when it gets to the provincial government and those, what are those things called? Those attorney generals, and they read my shit, and they read how the city's been fucking with my family ever since Uncle John was medically kidnapped. And if those politicians, those attorney generals don't do nothing to curb this overextension of authority, right? No, it's an anonymous phone call, people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, at some point in the future, put in a freedom of information onto my property about me. Being that it's repetitive, right? And this is at good times, right? In terms of the coronavirus, right? Could you imagine when the government doesn't give a shit about you? How they'll treat you? If they treat you like the way they treat me right now in good times, can you imagine what they'll treat me like in bad times when the whole economy is fucked up and people got nothing to fucking lose? Yeah. But we're a civil society. We won't take it to that level, right? Although, look where I'm sitting. Look what kind of level we've already taken it to. And there's a large majority of people who just simply want to ignore it and think it's okay. Right? In terms of what they did to ShaMay, what they did to Uncle John, and the whole rigmarole. So I bring reality to YouTube, and this is my reality this morning. And everything hurts, and I don't really want to move too much. I really, really don't. No. But I have to keep moving. I gotta keep doing something in here. Look at that. Cat knocking my papers. Do you see all those papers in there? I can get those papers out. Okay, so I'm not bringing this camera out now until I get out by the tree. Even if I just do an hour's worth today, I just have to start pulling everything out and get up and behind there so that fence can be fixed. See what the raccoons have done. Right? That latrine has been there ever since I moved in. When I first moved in, people, it was all in the backyard. It was all over the place. It was stupid. But in the end, I got a greenhouse now. I got garden beds. Have a fire pit. So it's not so bad, right? Okay, so my American friends, you hang in there, okay? I guess it's all about people power right now at this point in terms of there's more of you than of them.